I'm audible, and now Gemma should be audible. So we should both be very audible. It should be a very audible time for both of us.
I apologize. It was not my fault, but it was also my fault.
It was Gemma's fault.
So I turn on my computer and it suddenly says, I've got an update and I'm going to do it now. Why? Like,
no computer has ever done. No, it's not very controllable. I
don't know. Because it's much better than it used to be, right? It used to be that like I go into work and I turn on my computer and it'd be like, I've got updates. So I was like, right, okay, well that's the next 40 minutes of my life gone. But now, like, you can set it so it does it overnight, right?
It does. I mean, yeah, usually it'll try to find some time when like you're not very busy.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's telling me that at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon I should not be using my computer. But you see, I don't know. We should do it when I'm asleep. That's what I wanted to do.
It's possible. I'm posting all of our stream things.
What's this W11 update? Oh, I think I'm already on 11.
Oh, Windows 11?
Is that a problem? Am I on Windows 11?
You should be on Windows 11. Everyone's on Windows 11. Oh, that's not true, but it's free, and so a lot of people are on Windows 11.
How do I know what I'm on? I mean, you barely see a Windows menu now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I press that little Windows button in the left. I never press anymore, and I'm like, what is any of this?
Let's put it in the middle.
I just have a million browser windows open because that's all the computer's for now, right?
I think so. I mean, it's just a big old browser. Sorry, I'm finishing our page.
I mean, like, I do all of my work now is done on a browser window because it's all done on client portals, right? And they want you to use their hellish proprietary software, and that's all done through a browser, so you can't steal all their IP.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I know, but does it really have to be on Chrome? And it's always Chrome. They're like, oh, well, we designed it for Chrome. I'm like, really? Chrome. I mean, I guess it could be worse. They could have done it on Teams.
Oh, everyone loves Teams. So what's our goal for today? Do we want to grab a game from the library, the infinite library of games? Do we have
Let's
something?
Grab a game from the infinite library. I don't have anything. I have
to go. So we're doing our first Saturday meetup today. So we have to be a little prompt. That's why I'm being a little like cracking the whip. That's okay. Time.
Prompt. I understand prompt. I know it doesn't sound like I understand prompt because I'm just talking.
It doesn't sound like it.
My actions don't show that. I get it.
It doesn't sound. I don't know. It sounds reasonable. But let's.
So when you say this is your Saturday update, Saturday meetup. You used to do a Sunday meetup.
Yes. So our meetups used to be once a month on Sundays, mostly because of the requirements of having meetups. We're not having a lot of space and not having a lot of time and stuff like that. And now we are. Oh, sorry, Peasanator. Welcome. And what was Gemma's fault was she was late because she was negligent with her Windows updates. Clearly. That's got to be it. Let me make sure I do.
Anyway, so now you're having a Saturday meetup, and I want to say update again. A Saturday meetup, and that's once a month as well. Or are you going to do that?
So it's going to be It's going to be 2 meetups a month on the second Sunday and the fourth Saturday. So that means it's every other week really, and it alternates between Saturdays and Sundays over the course.
Oh, that's convenient for people.
Yeah. The idea is like, at least once a month there's one you can make it to, and if you're dedicated, you make it to both. So we have a.
Well, I mean, depending on people's lives, they might have a family day on a Sunday, or they might have to work on a Saturday. I don't know. It's people. It's difficult to assume that people have Saturdays and Sundays free.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Certainly, as we get older, right?
Life gets much more challenging with stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it's good to have some options. So I'm gonna take this over.
And how is the space working out as you get ready? Because I think it makes it easier.
We're still filling it up with stuff. I mean, it's really nice to have a place to be. It's really nice to be able to like.
Do you like having your like cupboards in home?
Yeah,
empty?
Yeah.
Because Davey had like this huge like closet in his hallway, and I opened it once, and it was just rammed full of like mahjong tables, sets, mats, like every mahjong thing you need, like an entire Janso in this tiny little closet in his hallway. So now he's got that closet back.
It's because like where's my thingy? Oh, I have so many different thingies. I think this is the thingy that I want. This is in fact the thingy that I want. Although I have to. I'm sorry. I'm updating.
Well, anyway, they all know now about your dirty secret about your closet.
It's true. It's a terrible secret. It's mostly about how all the stuff from WRC got put there. Is what happened. Like when we shipped all the stuff back from WRC, it
Yep.
all
But
got
then you
put
also
back in
had
this
all the, to be
closet.
fair to you as well, you had all the stuff that you were doing from PAX, because you were doing the PAX and all that stuff
Yeah,
was
all
being
that too.
schlepped back between New York and Boston, and then you went to, was it,
And
where was the other one, the board game one? Was that Pennsylvania, or am I just making that up?
PAX East was in Boston. PAX
Yeah.
Unplugged is in Pennsylvania, and we'd
Right,
done
okay, I
both of
think
those at
that,
different times. Yeah, we had all
yeah.
the convention stuff in there, all the signs, all the WRC sets, all the
Like,
leftover
and like, yeah, like the,
stuff.
yeah, like that's
Yellow
just the
Mountain sent
table
us like a
stuff.
million pens that all didn't work, and I think I still had those somewhere.
Yeah, you
It
could
was
probably toss those if they
Yeah,
didn't
maybe I can
work.
get rid of it after so many years. The little bingo balls we used for placements at NAO are still in there. The
Oh my God.
entire paper record of WRC 2017, I actually have that over here now. The entire stack of all the documents from 2017 and everything that it was, like
Oh
all of
wow.
that is all sitting there. Like we got a ton of stuff. We got some interesting news about that as well, about events in North America. Uh,
Hey.
coming up maybe for later. I'm gonna try. I want to be a little prompt because I do have to get
Yeah.
over to my meetup, so
So
I'm probably gonna want
let's
to get out of here
start
a little
let's
early.
start yeah, let's start with the kind of mahjong talk, and then
Yeah,
we'll move
yeah.
on to event talk,
So we
'cause
got this
there's
game up.
quite a lot
It's
going
another
on.
another older Armel game. Um,
Are you any of these people?
no, no, these
Okay.
these games don't involve me, but I don't know. I feel like how do we mix this up a little? Because I feel like we look at these things, we all say, oh, we're gonna fold all these hands. These hands are all garbage. Maybe we should try to do something like Benkyokai style, where we look at the first 6 discards a little more seriously and
Okay.
go back. What do you think that might be interesting? I don't know. I'm just throwing some ideas
Okay,
out
yeah,
there.
no, it's because usually we just skip through to the sixth discard, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I wonder if I can drop things on the ground, but like I'm wondering if it might be a little more engaging to talk about our first 6 and really see where that takes us, and then see where the hand ends up. Um, I don't know. Just throwing it
okay,
out
yeah,
there.
no, I'm just sorry. In my head I was thinking, right, okay, we'll probably have to talk about less hands, but in more detail.
Yeah. So what do we
Okay.
think? What do I think about this hand? So if I'm first dealer, I'm sad because this does not look very appealing to me. Um, I've got my one Dora, which is like my only hope of getting real value out of this hand, I think.
It's
Um,
it's chanted. It's chanted.
you think Chanta? You're thinking it could be. It could
Uh
be.
I
I don't
would.
want to go too far. I didn't want to go right out of the gate just being like, I see Chanta, but
Right, but if it was just Chanta, I'd be like, no. But this is Chanta Dora 2.
Chanta Dora 2. So the destination we see for this hand is Chanta Dora 2. That's kind of our good outcome. I'm gonna up you by 1. And I'm going to say my really good destination for this hand is Sanshoku Chanta Dora 2 in a gesture of deference to your favorite hand. But
I
I think
know,
we could
yeah.
make the 1, 2, 3 happen here. It could happen.
I just think it could happen, but I think that would be
Yeah,
more
yeah,
likely if you weren't going to call it. So
yeah.
if because you're the dealer, I'd just start aggressively calling.
I
I've
wouldn't
got
get
to
hung
be
up on it.
honest.
I wouldn't get hung up on it.
Yeah.
But it could happen. Don't forget that it could happen is really the
Yeah.
thing. Like, don't just huck that 3-pin right away, being like, get the heck out, because maybe you got your Sancho.
I mean, that's the sad thing about this. It's going to be obvious from the get go where you go with this.
Everyone's just going to see, and they're going to be like, oh, hey. And it might make them uncomfortable. Now they got to hold on to their edge tiles. They didn't plan on that, but it's still going to be a little transparent.
Yeah.
Now we'll do it over to the right. Or do we want to just focus on the one player? Do we want to focus on everyone?
We could just focus on one player. That's a good idea. Well, why don't we play with the other hands closed then?
Okay, yeah, let's do
so
that.
Then we can try and read their discards as well. We can
that?
open them. We can open them later if we want to kind of verify what we're thinking.
Where's the thing? Oh, is it here?
What? No.
I don't think there's an option for that.
Yeah, there is. You can play. Hang on a minute. I don't know how. Wait a minute. Let me get my Tenhou up. Someone help me.
Here we go. Hand. Here we go. I did it. Okay, it just says hand.
Just says hand. All right.
Hand.
That's not helpful.
Hand. Okay, yeah. So let's play our own hand. Then we can go through this a little more briskly. Cool way to focus on one player called play. I think I have to set up a time delay if I want to play online. That's the only thing that's a little challenging, right?
I don't know about Tenhou rules. It might be that in the the crappy room you don't have to put a delay on.
You'd have to get back to playing. We can do some playing too. I miss playing online. It just goes a little fast is the thing. We don't have time to like talk about it very much when we go. So let's see. What do we do? Do we recognize this? Ooh, we throw our south right out of the gate.
See, I'm gonna say, like, I did think about suggesting that whilst we were talking,
Just to
because
keep it looking normal.
yeah, just to kind of hide my direction a little bit.
Okay. We got a north. We got a north. We got a south. Okay, it's all pretty normal. Now we get a 5, and now our hand is starting to say, like, hey, it's middle tiles, and this is where I think the player is going to say whether they accept this or not. Because now they got like a 5-6, they got a 7-8, they got some sets. Do they hold for the Chanta or do they accept? The answer is they accept. So they're saying we're going for a more traditional hand now. We've kind of given up a little bit on Chanta because of this 5-6.
Yeah.
So okay, cool.
I just probably would have thrown the 9 though, just in case you got the 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku.
As the one
and there's the
draw,
one comes
the
in.
1, 2, 3 Sanshoku appears for us.
I'm a little bit delayed compared to what Dave can see, but yeah. So I would have thrown the 9 man, and I think I probably now. It's a shame I couldn't have said it quicker, because now I look a little less smart and I look a little bit more like I'm just winging it. No, I think the 9 man would have been the stronger throw.
And the 9 man is thrown now, so get rid of it again. We're kind of trimming down our edges. Looks like we're going for a pretty traditional Kinfu hand. What am I seeing? I'm seeing the 8 coming out of this hand to the right. Meh, not that shocking. The 1. The 2-pin discarded is drawn.
You see, with that 2-pin discarded, you could have switched back to the Chanta option.
Ooh, that puts you at a pretty longer distance now. That's a push.
I know, but if you called the 2-pin, like if you hadn't thrown the one bamboo.
Yeah. If I hadn't called the 1,
I'm playing a different.
You're playing the hypothetical hand where we held the 1, and we held the course. If we held the course, then grabbing that 2 would be great because we'd be well on our way to Sanshoku.
Yeah, but it'd be Sanshoku, maybe Chanta, and maybe then I'd get the green dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so we get our north. We throw our north. 8-pin from in the hand. This guy to the right looks like they're starting to trim down more effectively. They're getting some effective draws. East from within the hand after the 2-pin is a little surprising. Maybe they were holding out because it's valuable, and now they finally got something. Now our player to the right calls the East. There's a 3-so from in their hand. This makes me think that they've got a fast, fighty hand. They're just trying to call it out and make it go.
Yeah.
Get another 2-pin from out. We get a 7-man from inside. So it feels like everyone's making moves in their hand here a little bit. A little bit. I'm
most worried about whoever's on my right here.
Yeah, having called the East.
They've got a Yaku, and they're throwing out. They're following that traditional trajectory of outside tiles inwards, right?
Yeah. So their throws are starting to move a little more towards the middle, so it sounds like they're getting somewhere. And I draw another 6-man, which is not really going to help me. And to some degree, my thinking here is, let's throw it now. Get rid of this 6-man. We're not using it as a pair. We're not collecting 3 of them. It's only going to get more dangerous. If we think we still got a chance of getting anywhere, we should get rid of it now. That's my thought.
I probably would, yeah.
There we go. Throw the 5 and keep the 6s as a secondary pair. Now, the value of this would be if we feel like these 9s are safe. We now have a pair of 9s to hold as safes and an extra pair to use to see what else happens. But I don't know how strongly I feel that the 9s are safe, given that someone's called the East.
And I think the rationale that I'd probably land on here is that green dragon, I feel it's unlikely to come out as a triplet. People are unlikely to throw it for you to call it. So if you have it, you're going to have to wait on it as a pair, or you're going to have drawn a pair. You're not going to get your third. So now I'm looking at a hand which is potentially 3 pairs in.
Yeah.
So I see people get frightened about pairs and stuff like that, but here I think you had, because of the Dora, this was you already had 2 potential pairs there already. Creating another one, maybe not the most efficient way to play.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like you don't need to pick, unless you're going to go for 7, but that's like the third possible outcome of this hand you've gone through in the first 6 discards, which is maybe a little going to be challenging. 3-so stone.
Cheatoy.
Yeah, I mean, you can cheatoy, but like if you're going to cheatoy, you should have done it from the beginning.
I don't know.
Another 7-man. So this person just discarded a pair from inside their hand.
Yeah, and I agree with you with what you're implying there, that I would be starting to be a little bit terrified.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on there? They're obviously getting something good, and here I got the 4 that I would have wanted to use with my 5/6, but
Yeah.
now can't. Probably at this point, I might pivot with the 1 and just say, now we got 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, maybe.
Mm.
I guess because like if we're not doing Chanta, then we might as well get to Tanyao, because otherwise we have no chance of ever outspeeding anyone. And it's the
I
first hand. The Dora isn't easy to use. So unless someone's already sitting around with 3 in their hand as a giant bomb, like, they're gonna have to reach.
Yeah, I think you've lost the speed here. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm starting to want to fold.
Oh no. Shocking.
Well,
Shocking.
I mean, what value? Like it said the shapes are bad.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you'd have kept the 5 and you had a 4, 5, 6 locked in, you'd have still been in it.
Yeah.
But they threw the 5 instead of the 6.
And
So
now they're
now I
down. They're
don't think
down a
they're
whole
in it.
set, basically.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
think
not
they're in
much
it
to do.
now. I'm sorry. I think the 5 means you're not in it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Cutting this 1, maybe. It's a tough call on what to cut here.
I know, but now you're now you're down. Like you conceded a goal, and I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure you can revive the psychology to get this hand back into a winning shape. In which case, you should just fold it.
Hmm.
And that means, well, how do I fold it now? How do I fold starting now?
Right.
And that's tough here.
Yeah, you have a lot of mills. So they do throw the 1, it seems.
Uh,
And this is our 6th discard. I guess we continue around for everyone. 8th thrown is drawn, which is not so. 4-pin from inside the hand. 9-man from inside the hand. And so here we are. So yeah, I think we had a challenging first 6 discards. I don't know if I could have made a better hand. I guess I could have had that 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku ready to go. If I redid all of these discards, I could have 1 2-man, 1 1 3-pin. Actually, 1 1 3 is cute because that means you have a vague chance at Junchan. 7 8-pin, 1 2 so. I could have drained out my middle tiles. Maybe we should look and see where everyone else has gotten to.
yeah, I'm really worried about player on the left.
What do our instincts tell us about this?
So player, I have. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
So let's see. Player on the left hasn't really advanced as far as it looks.
Interesting.
They've trimmed some stuff out of their hand. They have a 5 5 6 6 shape, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
They might be looking to be able to just Tanyao out the door here, which they could do if they just started calling really hard right now. But they still have that Chun in their hand. They still have that North in their hand, which maybe the North in their hand is their safe tile.
I just don't get why they're holding the 9-pin.
Yeah.
Over a 2 7s and a 9-man. What happened there?
Maybe they're having Chitoi feel it, but they threw the 2 7s.
Why would you have Cheetor feel when you've got 3 4 5? No.
Our player across is actually Ishanten. They've very quietly gotten to Ishanten. Good for them. And they're creeping towards Sanshoku. So they've built a pretty strong base there, which is actually pretty cool. Done a good job with it. And our East caller is Ishanten as well. It ends up being East, but that's kind of what they're going for. So I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making their speed happen. They're about as fast as I thought. They're not quite ready, but they called a little bit ahead of when they absolutely had to. But yeah, they got places. So let's see where this hand.
But the discard pools are pretty regular, apart from the player on the left. But then, you turn it over and it's weird.
What happens to the rest of this hand? We throw our 1. It's called by the player on the right. They get Tempai, and then the player across throws their extra 7.
Oh.
Okay. Would I have thrown that 7? I might well have. No, there's another 9 here. Like, I was thinking, can you shift over to Tanyao by getting rid of this 9, and then but you have another 9 to get rid of. It's just not. It's not fast enough to do that shift.
No, and yeah.
No. Goodbye.
6, 9. Yeah. No, and it's not particularly expensive, so you don't have to worry.
No, it's just a fast win. 1,000 points. Move on to East 2. So what do we got? This is another hand. This is eerily similar because the Hots is still the Dora. This time we have a 6-7-8, which is nice. We have the 7-7-9 in our hand, which is interesting. We got 1-2 and we got 1-3. This is another hand where I'm like, is it Chanta time? But I think the answer is probably not.
What is it? It's fold time.
You think it's fold time?
Well, certainly. Again, I'm going to be strategizing that I have to get out of this.
See, I'd feel good because I got away with it. I had my hand before. I noodled. There's
no value here. There's no value here. Like, Chanta doesn't give you value unless you can do it close, and you can't.
Yeah. All right. So what do we think our first throw should be? I might even think the chun at this point. But
I'd probably do the 7-man, to be honest. You know, just to sort of keep something alive.
Or maybe this one that we got, like, it's not actually that useful. I don't think we desperately need another pair.
But if you are thinking of Chanta, then those ones can be your pair.
Yeah, that's true. Then you'll never need more than 1-7, basically, unless something goes nuts. So the 7 is a fine throw out for Chanta. Instead, it's the 1 pin. Interesting. Maybe there's some thoughts of, like, man flush, but, like, that seems way far away. We'll see. Dealer cuts a chun, cuts a chun. Okay, these are some fairly standard discards from the other players, so nothing surprising. The 4-pin's nice. We can maybe get rid of the 2-pin.
I would keep the chun now. That's the exit route.
Yeah, this is now our safe tile.
Yeah. So now you can dodge an e-pads. You know, you'll find other safe tiles. So that's what you lock in there, and don't throw the chun.
Okay, we throw the 2, and we get our nice 4-5 sets. That's good. South is drawn. Haku in the hand. 7 so. This is the first meaningful discard. The 7 so from in the hand. So now we get our 7-8-9. Okay, now we're actually.
I mean, now that door is your de-accelerant.
Yeah, the door. You mean the door is what's holding us back at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, the door is the thing that's risky. So we can still probably flatten out the 7.
Yes.
And keep ourselves going, but things are coming up our way right now. This is actually really cool. We're getting the draws. Now they throw the chun, which I think is casting themselves forward at a very rapid rate.
You see, I don't think it's casting you forward at all. Like, the 7 is not helping you.
Well, if in my mind what I see is the 1s are my pair, right? Then I can either keep the 3-man, hoping to get a 2 or 5 and get a nice 2-sided weight. Or I keep the 7-man hoping to get a 6 or an 8 and get a nice 2-sided weight, and the chun is preventing me from more potential nice 2-sided weights I might build. I'm not saying this is the absolute right answer, but I think that might be part of what people are thinking here.
But I mean, let's look at this hand now. I mean, the disaster is actually you get a 6 or an 8-man, because then you're going to have to start thinking about throwing the green dragon. And that's why I'd say throw the 7-man, so you're not in a conversation with yourself about whether you have to throw that door.
I see what you're saying, and I think that's a different level of evaluation. I think there's a lot of people who are okay throwing the Dora, because they say, well, it's a dragon, so it's kind of a roll of the dice whether anyone can do anything with it, and a good chunk of the time they can't. But it's a big. I agree with you entirely.
So my dream here would be I'd throw the 7-man, and then I would build the rest of my hand, draw the 2-man, and then I'd be waiting on the Dora. So for a door pair.
Makes sense to me.
That's the best value there, I think. Or you get you manage to draw another green dragon, and then you've got your pair and you've got a green dragon potential triplet. I don't know. I feel
1 man is drawn, South in the hand. 8 so is drawn. Oh dear. So still nothing too exciting from everyone else. Nothing particularly telling. Player to the right just throws another edge tile. Player across throws an edge tile from in their hand, which means they got something, but I don't know if they're making moves yet. Player to the left throws the 8 so, which implies they already got rid of the 7 so the 8 so they drew is probably not going to help them. It kind of implies they're done with that section of tiles, so fine. And now we get our 9 so, which makes our Chanta dream seem even more real. Probably we will just throw it. That is my bet.
You see, I'd now take the opportunity to correct and throw the 7-man. Because the 9 bamboo is pretty safe.
I might take the opportunity to throw the Hots.
No!
The only reason I'm saying that is because, like, if I'm setting myself up to get rid of it, maybe I just want to get rid of it now.
No.
And hope no one is collecting.
Do you not like points? I guarantee you, if you throw it now, you will draw another 2, maybe 3 of them. That's how it
Okay.
works.
Well, let's see what happens. We throw the 7. Okay. So we flatten out, like you said, which is fine. I think that's a fine answer. Playwright throws a 2-pin as drawn, which is interesting. Throws a 2-so as drawn. Now our player to the left throws a chun from out of their hand.
Oh, they were holding it as a safe.
It's interesting. So they throw the safest tile they got. And we draw another 6-so. And that gives us the opportunity to throw like maybe a 1-man or the hots and get Ishanten. We could throw the 3-man also to be Ishanten. But if we want to keep that hots, we have to. This is where we really our resolve is being tested.
No. Yeah, I think you have to stay strong. Keep the green dragon.
So keep the hots. Stay on target.
Yeah.
Don't mess around.
No.
Let's see what happens. We throw the 6. We say we're not messing around. We throw the 6. Now I might have. Well, no, this is a fine time to throw the 6. It's too early because I'm thinking you want to trim that 9 probably, but maybe save that for later when it's more risky. So I think throwing the 6 now, just saying I just don't want it, and it's hard sometimes. I think it's hard to pick up a middle tile like that and just be like, no. I think a lot of people, and me, myself, I can say for me, like there's opportunity in that tile. I could draw something around it, something good could happen, but I think at this point in your hand, it's the right thing to just be like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. A reach from the player to the right. That is a little surprising considering their discards. That is fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's about average, to be honest, I'd have said.
But considering they only threw 2 tiles from in their hand and then, like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. They obviously got a good deal.
Yeah, they done good. They done good.
So now, what are you going to do? Because you do not have much to fold with.
You got a 9-so. You got at least an Epot's avoidance. So you can start with that. And that's probably what I'd start with here. That's probably what I have locked in now. That my next move is a 9-so. It doesn't ruin my hand. It lets me see what's going on. Our player across throws a 9-pin as drawn. They just not thinking about folding, or they can't fold. Player to the left throws a 1-so from their hand, which looks like a safe throw.
Folding, yeah.
We draw a 5-man, and I'm sure hoping we throw the 9-so. So we're still Ishanten, but this is now a little ugly. We want the 4-man, but then we're going to have to throw the hots. Not so great. You really don't want to throw that into a dealer reach.
You know, you're not going to throw it. I mean, what? You're going to do it through a pin through only? No.
No. So I think these are our first 6 discards here. And so what have we done? We've built this hand into Ishanten on Pinfu or nothing, and we still have this poisonous Dora stuck in our hand, which is unfortunate. And we want to avoid it. Or we need to figure out what to do with it.
Right, you're folding. You're folding if you can.
At this point, we kind of have to fold because we don't have the value we need to go anywhere. But it's a little hard to fold. My next choice for folding discards would probably be these 1-mans because I have no other information. Unless I get some other good information, I have at least 2 of them.
Sure, I'd be tempted to throw the 8 bamboo because the 9 bamboo came out as the first tile, which suggests they might not have anything around it. It's not a great choice, but you know.
We end up. Wow. Why do we throw the Dora?
They throw it afterwards in response.
They throw the Dora. I'm just making sure I get the order right.
Yeah.
The person reach throws the Dora, and then everyone throws the one Dora they had sitting in their hand because it's terrible and we all hate it.
Oh, I love that like sigh of relief you get around the table.
Yeah, everyone's just like, oh, thank God. And now... So what ends up happening, it seems like, is our player here on the left grabs the 4-pin to aggress, getting ready on the 2-man of the 4-so.
They had a nice hand. Our reaching friend.
Wow.
They must have been dealt really very close.
Wow.
Oh, that sucks. If you don't win that as dealer, that sucks.
Now, here's my interesting question. Call the 3. We have 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Why not throw the 2 and wait on the 3, 6, the 2-sided wait?
Sorry, what did they throw?
They threw the 4. Oh, I guess the 4 was safe.
Safe, yeah.
The 4 had come out, so they played it safe.
I more want to discuss the dealer's reach. They didn't have to reach that.
No, and maybe they shouldn't have.
No, because they could have got a Yaku man.
What?
They could have got all pongs.
Oh, you're right. They're Ishanten on
Like, dream, people,
Suanko.
dream. You may never have come, but you could have dreamed.
I want to see what they. I want to see the deal, the initial deal. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty beautiful initial draw. I
And
would
then
love.
they pull 2 8s. Like, that's all they
Yeah, they pull
pull.
the 6. The 6 pin is their first draw. The 8 pin is their second draw. South is their third draw. 1 is their fourth
South,
draw.
and then the yeah.
2 pin. They actually eschew the 2 pin.
Well, that's right, because you could get the 7 pin. Or the 3. Yeah, the 2 pin didn't help you. That was
I might have thrown the east. I might have thrown the east over the 2 pin at that point. But instead, I guess no. They're also really close to Chitoi.
Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah, and then they reach this, which
I
think
not have reached
this was over eager. I think this was over eager because you really could have nailed it and gotten something else a little bigger. But,
and also, if you hadn't reached, maybe the 3 or the 6 pin would have come out for
people.
you.
People might have been willing to throw them. All right, so that all happened.
I would have dreamed of a potential Yakuman.
1,000 into 2,000. All right. So what do we got here?
Some people got lucky here.
This is not bad, actually. This is a fast hand. You just call
this
it out.
This is what we're talking about. Yeah, okay. I've got time for this.
East Dora.
Yeah.
You just push it. That's what I think. Because everyone's really close. You can easily get 2,000 points out of this. It'll get you up tied to first. Like, this is the time. Everyone's been playing knifey. This is your time to be knifey. That's my opinion.
Okay, you've said call it out, but if a 9-man comes out, are you calling that?
That's a rough one. I probably wouldn't take the first 9-man, but...
What about the 6-man?
I might.
What about the 5 pin or the 8 pin?
Probably not. There's enough of those that I don't have to worry that much about it.
See, I think that's probably the wrong way around. For me, what I do is if I call to complete a set with a door in, no one's going to think twice about it. They're not going to assume that I'm ready. They're okay. Well, of course she's locking in a door. Of course she's going to do that. That's pretty regular behavior. If I call a 9-man or a 6-man, someone's going to be like, okay, she knows what her Yaku is. She knows where she's going. Do you see what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like a 5, a 5, 6, 7 or a 6, 7, 8, that could just be a Tenhou only, but with a door.
Could be.
That's the kind of, I'm not going to say like I didn't make that theory yet. That's the sort of generalized theory that people would discuss. So here I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd. Oh my days. Sorry, I'm like a second or 2 delayed. Okay, right, all right.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm like all that goes out the window because before we even get our first draw, we get a dealer reach. So it's a double reach right out of the gate.
Don't even look at it.
Yeah, I feel like we have to just ignore it now. It's a little bit good because everyone's going to be a little happy for us to call. And they're going to hope that we like somehow either push ourselves into oblivion or shut down this dealer double reach.
I mean, double reach, you can't just ignore it. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, what a great draw for us, the south. So now we have 2 souths.
Just ignore it. I said,
I'm just wondering what should I actually throw out of this? Should I throw dragons out of this? Should I be just saying I have enough in the honor zone? Should I throw the 7 the 3 so?
I mean, if you want to avoid the Apats, you throw a dragon.
That's kind of what I would think. Like, I really don't want to just deal in stupidly, so I throw a dragon. And the chun is what comes out. 8 pin from the dealer. Chun comes out here. Now we have a 4 pin. Ugh. Do I keep going with my dragons? Maybe, just to, like, not stupidly blow up this hand before it happens.
I don't think it matters now. I just say, I just go directly for the 4.
Just through the 4 pin. Yeah, just through the 4 pin. Don't care.
Don't care.
Haku comes out. West is out. 1's out. Haku, we follow the Haku because now we know it's safe and it's also less valuable. And apparently the weight's on the 9, so it might be a 6-9 weight. But, of course we...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one problem with playing close, isn't it?
Interesting. The south comes out and we don't call the south. And normally, I would agree strongly, don't call the south. Because you're throwing 2 safe tiles in the garbage. But with this hand, if we're going, if we were willing to throw the 4...
But there's no Yaku, and there's no promise you're going to get those east. So if it was an east that they threw, I'd say call it. Maybe, if you really want to go. But I wouldn't call anything that doesn't get me a Yaku. Yeah. I might call it if it gets me in the door, but probably not now.
Riso comes out, which gives us another nice, safe thing to do. And now we can hold on to these 9s. Now we're creeping dangerously close to Chitoi. This is
now you're 1 away, yeah.
Rishanten on Chitoi with a Dora pair, maybe. It's a great hand to get if we can get it. 3, everyone follows. 2-man comes out. 1-man comes out again. Oh my god. So we make it to Cheetoy, which is pretty awesome. And now the question is, do we reach or not?
Reach.
I agree. If we're challenging, right? If we're doing it, we're doing it. So it's a reach waiting on the Dora.
And they're probably not got Dora in their hand. They've just gotten lucky with their draw. And they might throw you the Dora because they can't do anything else.
Is our 6th discard again. Our first missed pair for the Cheetoy. But it's not like we were going to throw the Dora, so fine, we got the Dora. And let's see where this hand ends. This hand goes on. So I think let's talk about what we did in our first 6 discards, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. So we saw our fast hand, but our fast hand became a Cheetoy out from under us, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the right thing to do to accept that. And also prevented us from throwing these dangerous tiles. Let's take a look at our dealer. Our dealer also has a Cheetoy. They were dealt a Cheetoy, waiting on the 9-so. That's a little awesome, actually. That's tricky as heck. That's really cool. So let's see where this ends up, because everyone's going to be dancing around. It goes to end.
It just goes to a draw.
Everyone defends. The Dora end up hoovered up into the other player's hands, and smartly, they are not throwing them out there. The final 9-sos must be in the dead wall. No one wins anything, and everyone is a little sad because there were some pretty cool hands.
It's super close, though.
Yeah, it's a really close game now. And we are tied for first. And we are West, and we have our Wests. This is a kind of hand I'd say call it out. Just go. Just go.
You do have a reach stick on the table and 2
there's
continuations,
2K
so
on the table.
that's 1,600. So it's
no,
not
it's 1
even
continuation.
Is it?
Yeah, it's only 1. 1 continuance, 2
Oh,
reach.
sorry, and 2 reaches.
So
right,
it's 2,300 on the table. So 1,000 point hand becomes a 3,300 point hand, which is pretty solid at in this environment. You got your Wests, which are likely to come out. I would say grab the Wests when you get a chance and run, but not before you grab the Wests.
I agree.
North and 1. And now we get to 2. Now we can even complete our 2, 3, 4, which is great. Probably I just chuck this Hots. Maybe the East if I'm just saying like it's not happening and I don't care.
Yeah, I'd probably throw the East first just because it's double.
Yeah, because
double hand for someone.
I want to keep the 4-pin for Dora acceptance. I might, 3 might come up. 5-7 still an incomplete set. So yeah, East comes out first. South of there, south out of there. 8 has drawn. The 9, I'd probably Chanta Dreams. I'd probably throw the Hots. Okay, Hots comes out. Now we do have 1-1, 7-9, 7-8. Like we could make it happen. It could be Chanta on top, which would be cute. Shown out. Everyone else is throwing very normal things.
Chanta on top is like a hairstyle.
We got our 9. Now the question is, do we throw this 4-pin? And I might just say yes.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, like we don't have room for that option anymore. We're really close. Okay, we do. We keep going forward. Haku, East. Ooh. What do we think about Itsu?
Itsu stalks the other Yaku. Have you noticed that? Like, you're happily making another Yaku, and then like, Itsu like sidles in.
This is what I would think now. I think, well, what do I think about Itsu? And I don't know if Itsu is worth taking a step back from Ishanten.
Chant on top is where we're ordering ice cream sundae.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ice cream.
Little chant on top.
So if I was gonna do it, I'd throw the 5-so.
I wouldn't do it.
If I was gonna do it, but I don't think I'd do it. I think I might just throw this 5-man and just stay where I am. No. They decide they're gonna go for the dream. They're gonna throw the 5-so. Maybe they're hoping to make a cool Suji trap by making it look like the 8 is safe. There's still Ishanten. It's just a slightly less wide Ishanten.
I know, but
I see the purpose here. But now they get their West. They get their West and they throw the 7, so they don't take the Tempai, and they're instead going for the Itsu, which I think is not
right, because you could have thrown the 5-man, and then if you got the 1-man, then you could have gone over to Chanta.
Yeah. I think people underestimate Chanta. I think this is actually not a good idea because you're taking a step back from Tempai. Maybe they're also thinking flush. but you're too far from, like, this is your fast hand to get the points you need. This is not a time
I mean,
to
if
massage
this
it.
was like your first or second discard, yeah, okay, fine.
Even
Try
though
for.
I will say everyone else's discards look like nothing exciting is happening for them.
But you've only got so many draws left.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You're a third of the way through the game, and you're going to get 3 perfect draws to get you into a flush.
9 pin from in the hand. Here's a 4 so that they just have to throw away. Everyone else throws a 6. Now stuff's happening over here a little bit. South has drawn 3. Stuff's happening. Our left and right players happening. And here's the 8 you would have sumoed on. If you'd just gone for Tempai. So, yeah, it looks like we pushed our hand to go fast, and then at the last minute, just as we got the Yaku we needed to like, dunk it, we've decided to go a different path. And I think these are the things that slow people down. I think you really want to keep your hand going fast. You want to, if you're going fast, you want to focus on that. You want to make it happen.
Especially with the point differentials, like everything's close. You don't have, you're not reaching to get in second place or third place. And also, as you said, there's 2,300 on the board that you don't have to work for.
It's just there. Like your 1,000 point hand is worth 3 times as much. It's like you have an extra Yaku
that right now in your point tray, but you didn't.
Yeah.
You threw the 7.
So let's see where this ends up. This goes for a long way. Also, it goes for a real long way. We end up calling the 1 and waiting on the 2/5 man.
It almost feels like they were going fast, and then they were like, and then they were like, oh, actually, I'm gonna make something beautiful, and then they went back to, oh, I know I should go fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth on this hand, and I feel like back and forth is the rough thing in Modern. Let's see where everyone else was also, because I'm curious. Because our player here on the left, like, they called these 8 pins, and I'm not sure why. There's a lot of confusion going on here. Yeah, like our dealer calls here at the end just to be Tempai. Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry, where the dealer. This player calls at the end to get Tempai. They have Dora 3 though.
Yeah,
so I can see their excitement.
Yeah, they were kicking themselves throughout, I guess, that they couldn't make that happen.
Yeah, our player here, I don't understand what they were quite doing, because they gave up like a 4, 5, 6. They gave up a lot of exciting tiles. Maybe they just were worried about the. You know what probably happened?
Morning, Serge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, morning, Serge. Around this point, at some point here, they see that we've obviously divested ourselves of all these so tiles. They see that we've thrown this one pin tile next to the Dora. They see that we've called our west. And so what happens? They draw a man tile, and they say, I'm not throwing man tiles anymore. Oh, no, but once we call this... What's... Okay, they start throwing out all their safe-ish tiles. They throw this one man, which we also could have called it in. That's not that big of a deal. Just they call the 8 pins and throw the 9. I guess here they're thinking.
So now they're thinking Tenhou.
They're thinking Tenhou. Okay.
And they
throw the 1 pin.
Freak out when they draw the 9 man.
Because maybe they're worried now. They're worried because we've thrown this 157 pin. We didn't even care about it. They're worried about some kind of Chanta or flush.
Yeah, they're worried about Chanta.
Yeah.
They can't be worried about flush at this point.
No, we called the 1 already. They can't be worried about flush. They're worried about a Chanta. They're worried maybe about an Itsu. No, because we can't have an Itsu. We call it 2 sets. So, yeah, I think this is like a misplaced fear in their minds.
I don't misplace the Chanta.
I mean, again, open Chanta. I mean, maybe they think it's West Chanta Dora 1, which is a 3-Han hand. So maybe they're thinking, yeah.
Yeah, but then so as soon as we throw the 9 pin, they then throw it. Because, they take the 6 pin, start breaking the hand apart.
Yeah, they're completely taking their hand apart at this point. I'm wondering what it is they're so worried about.
I think they're worried about us.
Yeah. And then the dealer cheese, and that goes to Tempai no 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little unfortunate. They bailed. They saw a ghost, and now we're in East 4. Oh, hey. I
think it's okay to see a ghost and bail. I really think it's okay to do that.
It's not terrible. It's not like they had a huge amount of value.
No,
And
I
now we
think
have another 300 points on the table, and we have this hand.
And Chanta's stalking you.
If I've ever seen a hand that says "Please go fast and win this Chanta," it is this. We got our Hotses already set up. There's not even a freaking option.
And you have a Dora.
We got a Dora. We got a 79.
And it's your
we got
wins.
a 1-3. We got. It's our win. Yeah, fast. Oh, Serge, don't. Your negativity about Chanta wounds me. Wounds me. Thought we were friends. Thought we were friends. Of course, our player to the left has 2, 6, 7. They've also got a pretty.
Oh, I thought we weren't looking at.
Oh, you're right. We're not going to look at them. We're not going to look at them anymore. Sorry. I love every weight that has to do with Chanta. And look, we got a 9.
Dave likes having to work for it permanently.
Got a 9. We could do it.
Okay, what's your first discard then, Chanta boy?
Probably Chun. I think
And
imagining
why?
I'm going to get another 3 dragons is dumb. And it looks normal, so it hides what I'm doing. And my Chanta is still a little bit in bits, so I want to see what other options I get. I'm not going to throw the South because it's Dora. I'm not going to throw any other part of this hand because it could become more valuable. But the Chun probably stands alone. That's my thought. What?
I'd probably throw the 3 bamboo.
Really?
Or the 2-man. I just think that
Mm-hmm.
I see the weight 987, but I think you're going to need to find a pair, and that's probably going to be the South or the red.
That's fair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this player agrees with you. They throw the 3 bamboo. Get west from the hand. A Chun. Now we get our 1 bamboo.
Well, now you throw your Chun.
No, now I probably throw the 1 bamboo. Now the Chun's very safe. The Chun might be my getaway tile.
Oh, you're not getting away here. Now you want to get away tile? There's no getaway out of this hand. You're going.
Well, now we throw the 9. The 9 that we kept over the 3. Oh, I don't like that.
No, I'd throw that. I agree with you. I thought this was a go hand.
Yeah, no, I think it's a go hand. So I guess you're right. We can just throw the Chun because it's not helping us and just hold on to whatever else we can get. Because now we know for sure the Chun's not helping us.
Yeah, I agree with you, Serge. These are indecisive throws, and I'm not. Yeah.
Here's another. Okay, so we got our pair at least. We got a 2. That's cool. And now we throw this 8 pin. It looks like, all right, we can make something of this, I guess.
I don't like keeping this Chun here.
1. So the 1s are all dead. And we throw the 7, though. Again, this is a problem. We keep throwing these tiles that then open up into other opportunities, and we lose them because we're holding this Chun. And I don't know why. The other thing that...
if you really want to exit, you just throw the green dragons.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I didn't mention of. Is we know where all the green dragons are.
Yeah.
So the Chun provides us with a very, very small amount of safety. It's not really worth it. Wow. And then our player to our right has already reached. And now this is what's happened. Like, and this is it's incredible to see this. And I think it's important for people to know this. Like 4 discards. 4 discards. And we have like, again, this is not to be mean to this particular player or anything. It's just talking about the hand. We fumbled. Think of where we could be. We could have 7, 8 in our hand. We could have 1, 3 in our hand. Those 2s could be gone. The Chun could be gone. Like we could be ready to go in the face of this reach. But we fumbled now. Now we're not in the decisive position. We haven't really advanced, and another player has, and that's rough. And these little things. That's why we talk a lot about the little things. I think the little things can have a real impact. And
now, unfortunately, you're going to have to decide whether you're folding or not.
Yeah.
Well, not for the first throw, because you did keep them a dragon, but
8. Oof. Player cross does not care. Plays safe, and now our 6, 7, 8. We could have been so happy. Okay, we throw.
I mean, it may not even been a Chanta, but you could have been.
Could have been so. We got Hots, we got Dora too. That's fine.
What is it with this red dragon?
Yeah, I don't know why they're holding it forever, but the 1 is a hard safe throw, so okay.
That's okay, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they don't need to do it. 4 from Taku, 9 man, which I guess is just maybe an attempt at safety. I'm not sure. Here's an 8. So please tell me that at this point we throw the Chun. Okay, at this point we finally throw the Chun to say that we're playing it safe.
It's definitely been pushed on the back foot for each of these hands, though. Not necessarily by the other players, but by your own play style.
A little bit, yeah. It's.
Sorry if this is you, if you're watching.
It's not about personal. It's really just about discussing the game.
And I'd be really interested to know in what environments this playstyle was working for you, because I don't think anyone creates and fosters a playstyle that doesn't work. Like, there's a reason for it. And it might be that in the play environment you're used to, it is working. and you get that positive reinforcement, and then you build on that play style, and then you take it to another environment, and it just
And I
doesn't
think
work.
that happens sometimes. Something that I've seen, and again, I'm not. I'm going to just disclaimer myself to death. But something that I've seen when people start playing is like tile efficiency is the measure of success for the first era of your play.
Yeah.
If you deal with people who are not very efficient and take a long time, if you're at the same speed or faster than them, you'll do about as well as them until everyone kind of understands efficiency, and then other things start becoming even more important. And this kind of going back and forth about your hand can be okay if everyone else is also kind of going back and forth about their hand. They don't feel very confident about which direction they should go. They're switching it up a lot, and you're switching it up a lot, and everyone's switching it up, and then everyone kind of wins about the same amount. And it's not until you enter a new environment, and I remember this happened to me, where everyone's fast, or everyone's good at building fast hands, and suddenly, as I'm being like, well, maybe I should do A or B, someone's like, reach.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And then you start to realize that, like, you start to learn a bit more how to drive forward very aggressively. And also the other thing is your defense. If you're solid at defense, you can get away with being wishy-washy more than if you play with a lot of other people who aren't solid at defense, because they'll just throw in. You'll just win a lot of seconds.
I will say, I think, as someone who might as I fold it all, as someone who kind of might be a bit more conservative and might edge towards the defensive when I'm nervous, it might be that they've come into an environment where they're nervous.
Yes, nerves.
And so when they see something, they fold.
Yeah. That's the other. That's part of the inner life of mahjong a little bit, is like, how do you deal with what you see at the table? Are you nervous? Are you upset? Are you not in a good place? Is it your first big tournament? Is it an event you feel shaken about? Again, this isn't something that anyone's magically immune to. My hands were shaking at my first big tournament. It just was a long time ago because I'm old. But those things make you make mistakes. Those things make you get a little off center, feel a little out of it, and do things that aren't optimal because you're nervous, you're stressing out, and that's part of life, and managing that is part of.
Or even even if you got a lot going on in your life, got a lot going on at work, and your mind can't be totally on the mahjong table.
In a bad place.
I think in a bad place. I think a lot of us, adults now, when I was younger, I didn't have these problems, but now that I'm an adult, even at the weekends, your mind is part way. Oh no, Monday's coming again.
Yeah, you got a lot to think about.
Yeah, but it's again. I think we spoke about it like 2 weeks ago. How I was trying to find ways not to meditate, but sort of get myself into a better psychological position. I've not achieved it yet, kids, but I'll let you know.
It's tough. So I actually am going to want to get out of here a little earlier than usual today overall, just so I can be early to get to my venue. So we don't have a ton more time. Let's see what we see. So this player is in reach on 6-0 or east, which is a little rough, but they decided to take it. Maybe just to push the table and see, who's got the guts to go with this. And what happened? Oh, this doesn't go much further. So we just throw this 5 as is. We are like, whatever. 2's out. Maybe it's fine. Okay, our player across now. Player across is actually close to Tempai. We now throw the 8 because I guess we use the 5 to clear the way for the 8, so we Suji'd our way across. Sure. And now our player across reaches, waiting on just the 2-man as a chase. And we decide we get the 1, and we go back towards Chanta.
There were a lot of sticks on the table here.
Yeah. We decide to walk back towards our Chanta druid and throw the 2. And deal into an E-Pots.
That 2 is a bad throw.
Yeah, I think that's a rough call. Right out of the gate like that.
Just now, fold.
Now is when your hots is just coming.
You're not east. The other 2 players have reached.
Yeah, let them fight it out, because you're not going to be able to do anything here without walking into one of their traps. You have too many dangerous tiles and not enough paths, so just get out of the way.
Yep.
So instead we deal in, turn off hand display. It is just reach E-Pots and nothing, so we only pay 26, but they get 72. Oh no, we pay 32 because of the.
So you had the CSAN put one stick on the table, and there were 3 sticks.
Yeah, there's two homba, so we pay 32, but they get 72.
Yeah. Because
of how much was on the table, and now we have launched ourselves into 3rd place, which is not very fortunate. I don't know if we want to do one more Do we want to do this guy? Do you want to just go
We
to
should
last?
do the dealership.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do our deal. Okay.
Yeah.
And this looks good. This looks good.
I've seen better. I've seen worse. But
I mean, we got 5, 6, 7. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got a pair. We're 2 Shanten. That's
okay.
pretty
Without
good.
thinking too much more, what's your first discard?
Probably Tuso, maybe 9 man.
Yes, I like Tuso.
Tuso's less useful because the 8 man is a great pickup for us.
I mean, I just there could be a 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9 sounds all right. That's fair.
So the two that's I think 9's a great choice if there wasn't a potential Sanchoku on the line.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Throw the Haku. Could be worse.
I would definitely not throw the Haku.
No, really, because it gets you speed if you get another.
Well, because you've got no Yaku, and if you get another one, then you can call it for the Yaku, and you're sorted.
Fairly traditional discards out of everyone else. Here comes a 7-pin. Probably still a Tuso still sticks out.
I know it does.
That's something I don't want. Okay, good. And we recognize it as something we don't want. Nice, so nice edge tiles from the hand. 8 man, a little trying, but whatever. Ugh. I hate drawing second 7-pin. I hate drawing this 2-pin. Do I want to think about Itsu? If I do, then I want to throw the 7-pin probably and flatten it out.
Throw the 9 man. Sorry, 9 man.
Cut that now?
Yeah. Because you could still have a 6, 7, 8 or a 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku.
Well, instead we throw the second 7-pin. I don't think that's disastrous. I guess the idea is door acceptance. We can keep a 1-pin if we keep the 2-pin. Okay. West out, south out. 3, so again, player left is now starting to show that they're getting something done. Now we get a second 9-man as the pair.
7 bamboo, you have
7
to,
bamboo,
I guess.
maybe, we kind of have to. Yeah.
Because now you're north at least you can't get out of this though. It's your final dealership. There's no getting out.
Yeah, so we got to take the Ishanten and be ready to do something. Another east, another hots. Haku is drawn. There's an 8-pin, which I think we just get rid of. There's no use for it. It doesn't do anything for us.
No, and you're going to end up in a nasty Furuten situation if you're not careful.
Interesting. Instead, we throw the 2-pin.
I guess.
I think there's just a lot of extra value placed on pairs.
I mean, in the end, I think if you want to, this gives you a wider way to Tempai.
Slightly, yeah.
However, with the Dora, I don't know. Maybe the Dora doesn't matter too much, but you know, if you'd drawn the 1, then you could start calling yourself into Tempai.
What a suspicious situation we're in now. Player left after throwing a Sotile. Cheese 7, 8, 9. Chanta. Given that we saw them bail on Chanta before out of fear of Chanta, maybe Chanta's in their brain as well.
But Chanta is more dangerous on the table because of the Dora.
Yeah. But it looks like they might be doing something Chanta-y. I'd have that in my head right now as Chanta maybe. Tuso probably just goes as is. Yeah, because we don't need it. And then the 6-pin as drawn was a little... The 1-man comes out as drawn, which means they might even be ready. Ugh. All right, so these are our first 6 discards. So what have we done here? We've gotten ourselves Ishanten. It's not a pretty Ishanten.
Oh.
We might have done better holding that 7-pin because then we'd have a 2-sided weight. We could get to Pinfu. But I don't feel like we've done anything too terrible here. We've driven straight ahead to get to where we want to go. It's just where we're going isn't that awesome.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad. But we also haven't seen our 9-mans come out. Haven't seen our Norths come out. Let's see where this ends up. Oh, it doesn't go any further. Okay, so we throw the 9.
No, I think it's going to go sad town, personally.
3-man deals in to south. Just a concealed south. Wow.
So, I mean, I think we had this conversation a little bit earlier about what you call. You immediately were concerned when he opened up with an inobvious, call. There was no Yaku, there was no Dora, right? So you were like, oh, something's going on over there. And that is the danger. It didn't
look like a flush because they were thrown tiles of the same. So, like, it didn't look like something ridiculously obvious.
But that's the danger of calling.
Yeah.
Is you draw attention to yourself. And again, it's not necessarily bad. You should just know. And he called to get himself into Tempai, so I'd say that was a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? If you're calling a 7, 8, 9 and you're not Tempai, then there needs to be a damn good reason for it.
Yeah, like you better have a plan because that seems like that's a rough play.
And everyone's eyes will be on you. There will be no, sneaking it out. Everyone will know. Everyone will
Let's
see.
jump to our last round here.
Mm.
See what we get. This is not what I'd want for my last round in last place. This is real bad. And I don't know how to make it any better. I guess I throw the 9-pin to start. Maybe I throw the West to start. Everything is awash in sadness for me in this game.
You've got to keep the flush potential in. Because that's just no value.
Yeah, well, you mean so flush, I'm assuming, because that's
yeah.
Yeah, so like it's going to be the 9-pin. It's going to be, I guess I don't throw the West because of the flush potential. Because, otherwise I just got nothing. And I need a manga on hand here to get away. To get anywhere, actually.
Does it have to be Mangan? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you hit opposite directly, and even then you just push yourself into third.
It's still good, but like...
I mean, I keep forgetting what Armor's like, and it's not very last place avoidance, right?
It depends, because if right now, if the game ends, all three players will be positive, and then you pay the negative because you're the only one below 30k.
So we have to find Mangan.
You really got to get value.
Find Mangan. Right, okay.
Well, you don't have to find Mangan. If you can pull yourself up into third with a direct hit, you're also kind of okay. Because then you have...
Yeah, then you're sharing it.
Yeah, you're sharing it. But right now you're paying the whole negative UMA, which is real bad.
So actually, so you have to knock someone back down under the 30k. So that's a real strategic change.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to either get... Well, if you get someone under 30k, then you share the UMA. So it's actually very good for me to win even a 2,000 point handoff of anyone here.
Well, I mean, no,
2,000 is good.
2,000 won't knock East down. So ideally, you've got to have a 3 and 40 hand.
Yeah, or 3 and 30 even. 3 and 30 Roan.
3 and 30, sorry. Yeah.
3 and 30 Roan at minimum is what we need to get anyone anywhere here to move the game in a way.
So that's what the aim is, and that's really only going to happen with a flush.
Probably yes.
And a value tile.
Yeah.
But if you make that value tile your south, then you have your Mangan. So this is a good direction.
Yeah.
And that's the only direction.
So the south is the way
that is the only direction I'll accept now. That's the final answer.
Well, they throw the West, which I think is
no. I mean, we just spent a couple of minutes, a minute or two, discussing that direction, though, right? And it's tough when you're in the spot, in the game, trying to work out what to do.
15 seconds, and it's like...
it's super easy when you're like, I'm just here, I've got my beer in my hand, chatting with my friends, I'm using the hive mind. Of course it's obvious, but it's not so obvious when you're playing.
No. All right, so we got our 1-pin in, which probably maybe get rid of the 9-pin for the 1-pin, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, the 9 for the 1-pin. South, oh no, our South is wounded, but not dead yet. Now we get an East, which is not at all useful either. Throw it as we take it.
Mm-hmm.
West comes out from their hand, and 9 so is drawn. And East, it's fine. An 8-man? Nothing we want is happening. I guess I could throw this 4-man and say forget it, or I can throw the 7-man because I don't think I need extra pairs.
I just throw the 1-pin, man. I wouldn't
now the Hots comes out.
I wouldn't do any of this.
No, this is getting southeast. No one else is getting any. Okay, we got our 7, 8, 9 complete. The only thing I can think of here is like reach Pinfu, reach Pinfu Dora, reach Pinfu and a flip is where we might be going here. Maybe. Now we throw the South because the South has been made dead. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, maybe they're thinking Ipeco.
Here's another 1-pin. Get rid of the 4. So now we have 1, 2, 3 pairs. We have not been left in a good spot at all. If you got the 3-pin, you could have Ipeco. Yeah, you could have Ipeco. You could get Pinfu reach. Well, if you get 2 3-pins, you could get to reach Pinfu. Ipeco.
So you've got potential Ipeco. You've got potential. The problem with this Ipeco is if you don't draw 2 of the 3-pins, then you're going to not have a Pinfu.
Yeah. I mean, this hand, I feel like, looking at our discards, it doesn't seem like we had much better options, but we've closed a lot of doors that we maybe wanted to keep open to make this easier for ourselves. Yeah, I mean, it might not be that the outcome would have been different. However, if there had been any potential, I said the door's closed by yourself. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So let's see where we get by the end of this. This doesn't go too much longer. Reach. Reach. Into... No. Both other players have outsped us. And from our discards, I don't think we really could have gone any faster.
Now, do they get pushed under the 30k, though?
That's the question. Oh, it's a Hanemon.
They do.
They get pushed down below us.
No! Oh, I feel sorry for Susan. What were they pushing with?
That's a Dora 3 flip. They were pushing with, let's see.
Oh, Dora. God.
It's a 7-pin only weight. It's kind of nothing. It maybe wasn't worth even pushing, to be honest.
On a 4-man, I think that was a tough call to push because you could have thrown the 8-pin, just taken a little step back, and then if you'd have dropped 4-pin, for example, or
also,
something else.
Thrown the 6-man. They'd taken a step away when they could have.
No, they hadn't. That was regular. That's 6-man.
Yeah, but they threw the 6-man, and that meant that their 5-man draw of later did not make 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, which would have incorporated it.
No, but I know, but
Yeah, could have dropped 8-pin to wait.
Yeah, the 8-pin, and just sort of shuffled backwards a bit to see if you can, because the 4-pin was obviously dangerous.
The other thing is like
it's back to your Suji there. It's back to your Suji there. Like with the 5-man discard and then the 3-man discard, the 4-man is dangerous. Yeah?
And because... also the 5 and 3 are safe. They're hard safe. Mm-hmm. So you can even just isolate this 4 into your pair and try to go around it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to push the Suji point again. Like the 5, the 5 is your Matagi because it's if you've got a 2-3, you throw the 5. So if you have 2-3-3, you throw the 5, and then you get closer, then you get to the Ursuji, which is your 3-man. So then the 4 is dangerous.
They drew the third 4-pin and dropped the 5 for that.
Yeah, I'm dropped the 8-pin exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. But unfortunately for our poor hand, there was really nowhere we were going with it, and our discards don't tell the sad story of what could have been. But yeah, this is like half Chitoy, half flush.
I don't think this player is not bad. I can obviously see they're a good player. I think probably the problem here is they're not confident or strong enough.
Yeah.
They need to have more confidence in their play so that they can make the moves when they need to make them. But they sort of kind of edge out a little bit, and then something happens, and then they retreat back in again, where they need to keep kind of edging out.
Is insta-reach not our best chance to take first?
So wait a minute.
What would we define?
So instantly reaching. So when they got Tempai. So the thing here though is the problem. I think here again is because Armour says that if you drop below 30, you have to pay an Uma. The goal here should be to not throw in because you're so close to that 30,000 watershed.
Yeah, like the chase. I don't think this is fundamentally a bad chase if you look at it entirely in abstract.
I think it's a bad chase because of the Suji. That 4-man is
it's a bad disco. What I'm saying is the decision to chase here, I think, is not a terrible decision if you don't care about if we take the rest of the table out of it. Like, okay, players in reach. I'm this close to first. I don't think it's a terrible idea to try to chase here, but what you have to discard to chase becomes dangerous.
Yeah, if it was a tile that I was like, oh, I might get away with this one, then maybe yes. But if it was still a dangerous tile, but I thought I was more likely to get, but one that is really like red hot, no, don't throw this tile. I think the reaching is not the problem here because if you're going to throw a dangerous tile, if you're not going to throw safe into the reach, then you have to reach yourself.
Yeah. If you're going to go, like if you're going to say I want to get Tempai in this, get Tempai in a way that you can win. So reaching makes sense. But the 4 is a risk.
I think here the going was the mistake because the going meant that even if it was a cheap hand, you were very likely to push yourself below that 30,000 watershed.
Yeah, that's the
and that's a big loss, a big loss for you.
The other thing we see here in this game is the danger of knifey play. In other words, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So if you throw into e-pads, remember it's 2-hand minimum, so you're going to fall below the watershed.
The thing that's challenging in this game is everyone played really fast hands. It was a lot of really fast hands back and forth, and then now the first big hand wins the game because everyone was so close and was like again, it feels a little when I'm at tables like that, I feel like it's nervous. I'm like everyone's very nervous. Everyone's like go go go, gotta get something done, gotta move, and it leads to these situations where the player who wins the big hand wins the game.
Right. But these knifey situations where people are making their fast hands and they're playing efficiently is when Suji is your friend. So if you're those persons going, oh my God, everyone's just played so efficiently and they just get there so quickly and I don't know how to, you have the Suji to defend. That's when the defense works. When people are dancing around making some awesome huge hand, that's when the Suji really starts to fail on you.
Yeah,
so if you're in an environment
where,
when you're in an environment where people are just handing, 1,000 points to each other here, there and everywhere, that's where the Suji really helps you you can make that winding route towards riches, which is maybe what our player here was trying to do. And I said, I felt they just like Maya needed just a little bit more confidence to stay on whatever path they'd chosen.
Yeah. Not going back and forth will help you get to where you need to go. Flipping 3 door will also help you, for the record. Like this would not have been anywhere near as disastrous.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much would they have had though, because they've had a reach Ipatsu, so they would have already
reach Ipatsu Pinfu.
Okay, but then so they would have been first anyway. They didn't need the 3 door.
Yeah, they didn't need it anyway. It would have been fine, but then they also just flipped 3 Dora, which absolutely demolishes them.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but that is part of Mahjong. It does happen.
I mean, Serge, I'm again. I think I've said before, I'm really struggling. This kind of shitty ass streak I've had since February has continued on to March and gotten worse. I'm really bad now. I think I know how to play. I just don't do it.
You gotta do it. That's key. That's the key part of it. You gotta do it if you wanna play.
Like if I look at my own games, I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what kind of player is this? But then, as I said, it's easy when I'm chatting here and I'm looking and my mind is in the right place. But then, you get anxious and then all these other, this kind of the mental sort of the greed. That all these other sort of the desire to just be good
creep in.
Yeah. Anyway, Dave, you need to get going.
Yeah, gotta get going to our meetup, so I'll report back from there.
Are you going to send us photos on social? So
I will share some photos with everyone of our cool meetup.
Yay.
And bring my stuff over that I was talking about earlier, our tiny mahjong set.
And we'll be back to our normal time next week.
Yes,
because now I'll be back on. I'll be on summertime again.
Yeah, so we'll be good for that. Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to scoot.
Bye, guys.
And I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.